Assemble.
Your savior is here!
What up, nerds? Welcome back to the Nerd Dimension podcast, Loki episode 3, Lamentis. Here with the boys, co-host David and Mikey. What's happening, guys?
I'm doing great. I'm doing brilliant.
How
good.
Are you? How are you, David Brent, from the office?
Yeah, I'm on my night off. I've got the weekend off. I'm really happy. I'm really happy right now. And I've got my beer. I'm happy.
Yeah, I can't wait to dive into this one.
Anyway, boys, episode 3, Lamentis. Your first thoughts, Mikey. You go first. I know you want a deep dive into your theories. Let it out.
Before I get into it.
Oh, you shut your mouth, all right? Nah, it is brilliant episode. Absolutely. You know, it's kind of what I needed from the last episode. Thought it was cracking. Obviously, I've got a couple of things I want to say. Will I wait until after you guys have said what you thought, or will I say it now? No, I'm going to say it now because you'll end up saying it and I'll not get a chance to say it, right? So, first thought, right? I rewatched episode 1, so I did. And you know how Miss Minutes?
Yep.
I came here an observation. Why is she as a clock divided into 16 and not 12? And he's noticed that? If you get on Miss Minutes,
I did notice that. I did actually notice that, yeah.
she's divided into 16, like 16 numbers rather than your usual 12 and a 24-hour clock. So that was my first observation. Second, I think I might know where the TV is. We had this discussion on the first episode, but I think I've worked it out after watching Ant-Man and the Wasp. You know when they go into the quantum realm and you see that city in the background? And then we see the city in the first episode of the TV.
Oh my god, he's right! He's fucking right!
Right, but that's not it. Just wait. The next Ant-Man movie is called Quantum Mania. Boys! I just wanted to get that out now.
None of us thought that. I've watched Ant-Man and the Wasp once in the cinema. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like that movie. I never watched it again. I had a few laughs, but I wasn't the big fan. I thought the first one was much better. But this episode, my theory is completely different. My theory is, my God, my mic's miles away. Hopefully my audio's been all right this whole time. Anyway, have you been able to hear me all right?
Mm-hmm.
Aye. Right, so anyway, my theory, the villain of this show, it's Miss Minutes. Who's Miss Minutes? Mephisto, definitely. And before I move on, my biggest theory, see everything that happens in this episode from the train scene on, either Loki's enchanted Sylvie or Sylvie's enchanted Loki. That whole continuous, epic, phenomenal one-shot scene, even the way they're sitting on the train, see the flashbacks with her with Agent C-20, the exact same position, same camera, same framework, her on the right, her on the left. She explains with some people it's harder, aka you, Loki, who she's working on right now. I think everything from her waking up and him singing and dancing is in his mind, and that's not what's happening. Because they left it on a cliffhanger. What, are they dead? No, I think either Loki's enchanted her or vice versa. Most likely Sylvie's enchanted him. But you never know. It's all mischievous. I love it. David, your first thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, bit of a mind blown when we found out that everyone was they weren't born, they weren't created in the TVA. They were basically the people that thingied from the timeline. What are they called?
They're all variants.
They're all variants, yeah. So I said to Paul earlier, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think the character that Owen Wilson plays, what's his name again?
Mobius.
Aye.
Mobius.
Do you think they're going to like dive in and find out that his past was actually Owen Wilson, and Owen Wilson believes it's him, and then they're going to clock him out, and then he'll be like, wow.
No, apparently it's been confirmed by the showrunner that he will not say wow on this series. Sorry to disappoint fans, but he won't. That's been confirmed. But I don't think that at all. I think being a variant and a human, he obviously was like some sort of jet skier or jet ski salesman or something. Do you know what I mean? He was involved in jet skis in the real world in his past life, and he probably dreams about it. And there's some connection he feels with it, and that's why he has that magazine. Do you know what I mean? Something connected to that, because obviously, if he was a human and now he's a variant, but they don't remember. Like she said, C20s. Sylvie said C20s. Mind was so messed up. All the variants' minds must be messed like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And is there any? As I said last week, do you think there is any timekeepers? More and more we go on. I don't believe there's timekeepers. No.
I think the person ruling it is the judge. What was her name? Do you remember her name?
I don't. But I know the character. You mean the one you fancy?
I think she's in charge. I think she's the one doing it. I think she is the evil villain. I do. I really do.
I don't. See, just know how she has her helmet and her baton in her office stacked with that. See, as soon as shit went down, the way she grabbed it and got to work. I don't believe she's the villain. I think Miss Minute's the villain, pulling the strings. I think Miss Minute is Mephisto. And I think this show is going to lead into Multiverse of Madness, connecting with Wanda and Doctor Strange. That's what I think.
I believe that as well. I think when Loki ends and Multiverse comes out, it's going to be. I think it's either going to pick straight up from when Loki ends, or mid through it, there's going to be a flashback or something, and they're going to tie in. I don't think we've seen the end. Whatever happens at the end of Loki, I don't think we've seen the end of this universe quite yet.
Did any of you know what was happening right away at the beginning? Like when they were having that like little cocktail night. Did anyone know that was
I knew that was that agent right away. I thought it was a weird opening, but I absolutely loved with the credits and the way the tune starts and just the sound design in this show, the audio editing, just it's amazing. It's astounding. The camera work. So that end scene, some of the best camera work I've ever seen. But no, I recognized her instantly from the last step and from do you know what I mean? The quick scene you seen this time on the show last time, that we recap.
Yeah.
I seen her on the recap as well. So she was fresh in my mind and I knew it was her right away. And then you hear Sylvie's voice, that kind of English accent. I kind of picked up. I kind of figured this was what she was doing in that office when she had her finger on her head, and then lo and behold, you see her taking it away. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? Right?
There you go.
I didn't even click on that it was Agent C10, so I didn't see when we were watching it, because last week in the podcast, you and I were talking about, hopefully this episode is more personal and about what we thought was Floki, right? Mm-hmm. But so I thought when it was opening up, I thought maybe this is us seeing a back life of her before she became Sylvie. You know what I mean? Life before Sylvie, before she got her powers, and you know what I mean? But then
which was my theory. My theory the episode was gonna be. But I didn't,
and then she mentioned the timekeeper, and then Manu.
Yeah. And then she mentioned timekeeper, and the backdrop changes, the dynamic changes.
The music and that, it gets sinister and intense. Phenomenal editing. This show is just, see the budget, the direction, just the artistic touch in this show. I feel Jordan said the same thing to me. He's like, I'm starting to question, did I even enjoy the WandaVision and Captain America and Winter Soldier or whatever it's called? Do you know what I mean? This is on its own level. Do you know what I mean? On its own level. And I see the whole. I'm a bit surprised because as much as we got of Sylvie and the banter between them and just this epic adventure on this planet we've never seen before, and that's one thing I was saying I liked about this show is the fact that all these locations, they're new, they're unique, they look stunning. That's one of my favorite parts of this show, and just the whole way it's designed is just, I'm blown away, absolutely blown away. What was I gonna say? See see the what do you call it? The fight scene. Aye, see when she gets to the. Did you think she was going to appear at the TVA when she came at the portal? When she went in it in the last step, that took me by surprise.
Oh, yeah, I knew that's where she was going.
Yeah.
I knew that's where she was going to go. What I didn't expect is for when she was at the gold door, for them to for Loki to use the temp pad and for them to like go to another, disaster or whatever the word's called again.
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse event. I thought we were going to get through the doors, but we never. So
Aye.
I quite liked how when they went, when Sylvie went into the portal and then she tried to use her magic on one of the guards and it just failed. He kind of like turned round and then that's when the fighting started happening. She kind of like had quite a hot smile about her, like quite evil smile, and then she just started whipping ass and all that. I fucking loved it, man. It was great.
It was absolutely awesome. See, the thing is, her magic never worked. No problem. Like, she's mischievous, she's badass, she can handle herself. And see the whole fight scene with her and Loki and just that whole bit. And then the choreography and the way, like, they're basically doing the mirrored moves. And that it comes up with the knives. And then obviously the TVA agents appear. And then that's when they drop through and end up in Lamentis 1. And this is one of the most stunning locations I've seen in the MCU.
Who do you think will be more powerful? Loki or Sylvie? Because Sylvie never got taught anything by her mum, right? So she doesn't have the magic that Loki does, but Loki doesn't know how to tap into people's minds like the way she does. So do you think Loki will learn her power, or do you think she will learn his power?
I think they'll adapt to each other. I think they'll learn each other's trades, yeah.
I think they already are. I think they already are doing that, do you know what I mean? I thought it was pretty great. I see a lot of buzz about the people saying, "Oh, Loki confirmed to be bisexual." Like, look, we kind of throwaway line, a bit of both. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever. Who cares? Do you know what I mean? The show is epic. See the what do you call it? I think I don't know. I think they're both clever and mischievous in their own way, but they're alike in ways that I thought the flow, the chemistry, and the banter between them, and them untrustworthy, and they're both that clever and 10 steps ahead that they are like tripping each other up and catching up with each other when usually that's not the dynamic you see with Loki. I found that so interesting. Just seeing that, do you know what I mean?
What I found quite funny was that not Silver said that she was in a long distance relationship with a mailman.
Oh, the postman.
So this wee guy, right, in our world, is probably just delivering mails, greeting the neighbours, "Howdy do, neighbour," and his birds jumping portals, killing people, fucking set them in place, man. I'm like, no chance.
So what was her ultimate plan that was years in place? Is she trying to kill the timekeepers? What is she trying to do at the TVA?
She's just trying to destroy the TVA.
I think she knows something about the TVA. So obviously she let on that, the TVA aren't born there, they're not created. She let on to Loki that they're actually variants of reality. They're variants of real people, and other Earths, whatever you want to call it, planets. So I think that our end game's not to, completely destroy the TVA. I think if she wants to find out, one, are the timekeepers real? And two, I think she wants the people to know that, they're not who they think they are. Mm-hmm. So that's just my take on it. I actually don't think she's the bad one anymore. I don't think she's out to destroy the TVA and everyone within it. I think she's actually trying to help the people amongst the TVA by destroying them up the top.
Like Batman.
A bit like Batman, yeah.
Like Batman. Yeah, Vigilante, the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
See, she's definitely. I don't get villain vibes from her at all. But I feel like she's just gonna be. I don't know, like her and Loki together. She might die in some way, and at the end, she sacrifices herself, or Loki ends up outsmarting her, and the whole way through the season, there's like a bit of back and forth, and like a bit like they're playing battleships with each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't believe the banter between them, the chemistry, just the whole episode. There wasn't a moment I wasn't bored. I've watched it like 4 times, and the other 2 episodes I only watched like a couple times. But I do have my issues. Will we get into issues?
I'm
We
up for
talked
issues.
about
I've
the
got
pros.
myself.
Before you get into issues, right? Let me point out one thing. What did you make of that when they kicked the door into the caravan and that woman's got the big blaster, man? Sent Sylvie flying. Loki tries to play it all cool, changes into her husband. Oh dear, I've missed you. You look so beautiful. That bastard would never say that.
But
He was
she
never that
just
nice in 30 years.
she blasted him, be like, Patrice never said anything that nice in 30 years. Like, you ain't weary travelers, you're devils. But whereas everyone, the arc, I did not expect the arc to be what it was.
Yeah.
It was that whole scene. It was kind of like a red light nightclub district, kind of neon, funky, otherworldly place, and it looked otherworldly, and it reminded me of like Total Recall, Arnold Schwarzenegger, but just more. Oh, it was beautiful. Also gave me Underworld Coruscant vibes from Star Wars. Don't know if you know about the lower levels of Coruscant. Do you know what I mean? But fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Definitely.
Going on to issues, right? What is really her motives? What did we actually learn about her? What do we know about her past? Like, what's her end game? We know fuck all.
Yeah, but then
it was basically humorous between them and seeing them like I loved all that, but I wish they answered a little more questions or even showed maybe even a 10-second flashback scene from her past.
I think the audience is being brutally catfished. I think they're just. I
wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think she is
because it is the God of Mischief.
Yeah, exactly.
True God of Mischief.
But again, another issue I had is I just thought that I think there was a couple of timing issues. I thought, I mean, I think there was a few timing errors. So when they land in what was it? Sorry, called again? Was it Leviticus?
Lamentis.
Oh, Lamentis. Sorry. So when they end up Lamentis, they've got 12 hours, right? So in that time, they walk to the town where they get blasted by the old woman. They get to the train.
Before that, they need to dodge all the meteors.
Yeah,
and they hide. They hide behind the big truck. Then they go into that dusty old shed thing, and then that's when they speak some more. We get some more dialogue or whatever.
Then they get to the train. We don't know how long the train journey was. They get chucked out the train, not knowing where they are. Well, they don't even know the place around. But after some dialogue, and they then walk all the way.
See when they get off the train, you can see like there's only train tracks straight, and then there's like the wee city in the distance. But it was a fair bit of ground still to walk.
Yeah. So then once you get there, I mean, yes, it does say that it's leaving in 5 minutes.
Let me throw this out there for you. Going back to my theory, everything that happens after they get on the train is in one of their heads. One of them's enchanting the other.
I've got a theory.
I've also got a theory, but I'll leave it for the end before we do the ratings. Because I've got a theory of what's going to happen in the next episode where it's going to pick up.
Okay. The reason we do not have any information on Sylvie, right, is because she is not a variant of Loki. I think that Kang the Conqueror, okay, is the one running the TVA, and then Kang the Conqueror had a bad relationship with a girlfriend, and I think that the woman is the judge is Kang the Conqueror, and Sylvie is actually the jealous girlfriend trying to get back at him.
That is a very interesting theory. I'm impressed. Never crossed
and
my
that's
mind.
how we don't know anything about it, because it's not a variant of Loki. You heard it.
And she does say, don't call me that, I'm not a Loki. So you can be right.
She's very kind of subtle about it. She's like, he's like, what? You don't like being called what? Tech savvy? And she's like, no, Loki. I'm Sylvie now. But the way she says I'm Sylvie now is like alluding to that she changed her name.
Sylvie's just an alias. She tells us it's just an alias.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to be known as Sylvie, but it's not who she is.
And then Loki sings that beautiful song when he's drunk. When she sings "Come Home." Then he sings "Pure Beautifully" in Asgardian. I was blown away, just rocking away to it. And then he's like, "To Sylvie, another." Asgardian Thor 1 callback. It's what all Asgardians do.
I think
times of celebration.
I still think it's still tying up with I think we're going to see Ragnarok in the next couple of episodes. I think that's where the apocalypses are going to go to. I think we're going to see Sutter blowing up Asgard, and we're going to see Ragnarok because they're making too many references to it in each episode now. So we've seen that much of Ragnarok and Asgard. I think it's only bound to happen that is this whole thing going to end at Ragnarok, or is Ragnarok a part of the whole thing? I don't know.
I don't think Ragnarok's part of it at all.
No,
to be honest, we've seen it, but it's destroyed. It's done. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they'll visit there.
What
you never know. Wait, David, Matt. What I think where it's going, where the next episode's going to be, seeing all the trailers since even the earlier trailers. See when we see Loki in that mayor costume and he's like that, then everybody turns on him. I think that's on this Lamentis, this desolate planet. And then he's like, what did you expect? He's got his own crown there though, with the two horns. So I don't know where he would have got that on this planet, but I don't know. We've seen that too many times in all the trailers, and I doubt they're going to be showing later episodes. I think they've been mixing and mashing up the first couple episodes and all the trailers we've seen, because I reacted to every one of them. Do you know what I mean? I think the next episode, we're going to see that scene. He's like, what did you expect? And then they all turn the blades and that on him. I think that takes place on Lamentis. At least that's what I was thinking. See, at the end of the episode, they turn around. I'm like, well, where are they going to go for here? But then I also thought, I don't think that happened. How did the time pad get destroyed? He's got it hidden with magic. What? It still breaks like his phone in his pocket? I don't buy it. I think he's enchanted right now, and with some people it's more difficult. She said it. I think they were foreshadowing it, and they were laying it out there. I think that's. You're telling
me that in this, however far ahead in the future this is, that they've not heard of tempered glass. Is that what you're telling me? That the time pad falls and cracks instantly? No, I'm not having this. I reckon
that our Asgardian magic can't protect the time pad.
But this is what you've said there is tied in with my theory from the next episode. So this is what I actually think.
Spit it out there.
I'll say it, right? Just fine. I think, right, the apocalypse, obviously it was mid happening, when the Ark got destroyed. I think the final seconds before it happens, civilization is ended. I think that Loki's going to, a bit like when Doctor Strange had brought out the time stone for Thanos, in their final seconds, he's going to bring it out, do his wee, and they're going to just get out just before, the planet ends. Where they land next, we don't know, but I think it's going to be a wee last minute. He's going to show the real time, was it time pad? Yeah, so that's my thought for the next episode.
Do you think it's actually out of juice, or was that a trick?
It could, yeah.
And then it isn't even broken. He's still, because if it has to have juice, if what you're saying is true, maybe he just wanted to get to know Sylvie.
Maybe he just didn't want her to. He thought he could use this time to find out what her motive actually is, and he thinks he can try and change.
Also learn from her, because as everybody says, she's the superior Loki. He won't admit that, but maybe he wants to learn her tricks. Subtly, discreetly asking her how she does it and wanting to know about it and try to get the trust, try to build a trust. Do you know what I mean?
I don't believe it. Oh, sorry, you go.
You just mentioned the time stone, right? And it just got me thinking, when that building, when the city was collapsing, right, from everything getting smashed in, Loki turned around and the building was about to fall on top of him. and he turned around and went like this, right? And
He
the
does,
building was shot back up, correct? Right?
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
my question is, was that his actual power? Meaning, wow, he's got some power. Or did he have a time stone?
It wasn't a time stone. He never did the reverse, the turn and it hanging back. He went boom, and the thing just went. Do you know what I mean? Right back into place. It was like a kind of like a boom at his chest. Do you know what I mean? I thought it was crazy. We saw so many powers that we've never seen Loki use before.
Week, haven't we?
see when they're that continuous shot and the way it opens up and basically going in. This looked like a place of a cyberpunk 2077. Honestly, man, it looked phenomenal. And then the way they walk out, and then it's like a circle archway, and she's like, "You ready? You ready?" He's like, "I just want to know I can trust you," and like whatever. And then she's like, "You ready? This is gonna suck." Then that's the start of the one continuous shot. And you know what? I haven't even checked how long it's went on for. I've just watched it several times.
It's phenomenal, but phenomenal.
The camera work. Oh my god! The way, see when it goes up and you see the planet crack in half, and then shit's going down and people are panicking like, "Let us on!" And then they throw them all on top, and then riots start, and then that happens, and just the way it gradually gets more intense and more, the stakes are higher, and they're fighting and getting tired and working together, and then at the last moment it just blows up. And see the way the camera pans around them and looks up, and then they turn around, walk away, and then cut to end of episode. That is one of the greatest one-shot scenes I've ever seen. The camera work, the sound design, the CGI, just everything about this episode, it fucking blew me away.
Yeah,
absolutely blew me away.
Visually and editing wise, I think it is the best to come. Like, I think it's been the best so far. You know, it's shot all over WandaVision. We're only 3 episodes in. It's shot all over Falcon and Winter Soldier. We're only 3 episodes in. I think we've got more from the 3 episode than we have.
I'm watching a fucking movie.
Yeah,
like,
that's what it is.
Movie.
Last week. It's
and
just
that's what I've
movie,
always said.
It's a
6-hour movie, and it's like such a clever way. And then we're getting it week by week. We're not waiting a year for the next part. I love the format. Do you know what I mean? And see it being a Wednesday, so exciting. It makes the middle of my week it's just
being midweek. It being midweek so good. So it is, and obviously, you know, whereas last time we Falcon Winter Soldier, you know, we were seeing it on the Friday, filming the next day, you know, and then, you know, might we even come up to mid through the week, like be uploaded. Whereas with this, seeing it on the Wednesday, you know, we're filming straight on the Thursday. Could it be up by the end of the weekend? We still have all that. You know what I mean? I love that it's midweek.
It's up. The podcast is uploaded on Friday, every Friday.
Yeah, I think
we record Thursday. It's uploaded Friday every time. See, I was going to say something there. What was it? It was something that you touched on there. I can't remember. Moving on. Totally forgot. You said something. It made me have an idea, but I've lost it now.
Just mail me. Yeah, man.
Totally forgot. So what do you think? What else happened? What else happened in this episode? If we touched on it, if we touched on so much of it so fast, did you notice any Easter eggs? How did you feel with Owen Wilson not being in this episode? See those pauses of us thinking, they'll be cut out as well.
I did hope he'd be in it, but you know, I did think he would be in it, but no,
I was glad he wasn't.
I didn't at all think he was in it. I'm glad he wasn't.
We've had the Loki Mobius personal interaction, and I was glad that this episode, as much as at the start there was Agency 10 and Sylvie, and then there was the fucking Judge Judy, I'm going to call her, right? And then once they got I keep forgetting the name of it. What's it called, Paul? The planet,
TVA?
The Apocalypse, the Apocalypse.
Lamentis.
Once they go there, it just opens up this whole personal interaction, and more intimate scene between Sylvie and Loki. And I think that's what we needed. We needed that kind of, we need to find out more about them both. And I think that's what we learned. As much as we don't know anything about Sylvie, we learned that, these two, they're polar opposites. But, yeah.
What is it she says? Oh, believe me, I'm way more... It's a word that starts with H. Hatusis than you, but not at the expense of the mission. Like, she is very professional, whereas Loki, but she's cheeky as well. But they're in such different ways. Like, honestly, like, and see as well, she's like that. Oh, my parents told me. And she's like, you were adopted? He's like, yeah, my parents told me. What, they didn't tell you? And he's like, no. And he's like, well, eventually. It's like, well, you're like 500 years. You're like, how old is he? 1,500 years old? I'm sure Thor and Loki are 1,500 years old. Something like that. And it's like, right, aye, they told you, but he must mean, when did they tell her? When she was older, at the same age as Loki as well, because either way, she was told by them and it was still in the past.
It does make you wonder what kind of life she actually had, because it must have been totally bloody different. Was she raised by frost giants? Who raised her? Because it clearly wasn't the same people that raised Loki. You know what I mean? Like, well, she doesn't even know her mum.
Is she from Jotunheim? Is she a frost giant? Is she using Asgardian magic to look like an Asgardian, like the way Loki does? Because when Loki was near that, I forget what it's called, the big frozen stone, the Jotunheim's power thing, the thing the frost giants are trying to steal. When he goes near it, his true skin appears, and that's when he learns it's the frost giant. Do you know what I mean? And the magic kind of fades away.
How do we know that Odin didn't become a time variant the minute that he found Loki in that snow and picked him up and took him as his own? Maybe that never happened for Sylvie. So
this Loki, this variant is a variant of the sacred timeline Loki, but I don't understand why she's female then. Because if she's a variant of the sacred timeline Loki, but then I don't know, variants are just variants. Maybe it's from.
But she's no Loki.
You know what? Maybe all the variants from all, because obviously there's a multiverse. There's multiple Earths in the Marvel universe, so maybe it's just all the variants for all the Earths. And that's why there's different versions of female, and then a blue one, a Hulk one, a Viking. Do you know what I mean?
I just hope we're going to have that Spider-Man meme moment where they're just pointing at each other. And it's like, I just want that. I want three of the same, just in the same room. Like,
I think there's going to be one episode where it's going to be one of these episodes where there's like Tom Hiddleston's playing 20 characters in the one episode, and there's just going to be multiple Lokis everywhere, and it's going to be like maybe a half the episode or maybe a 5-minute scene, but they're going to come across multiple variants of Loki. Do you know what I mean? I hope that happens. Like, I can see it. Surely they're going to give us more variants of Loki and we actually see them on screen and have interactions of all of them talking and all their like personalities. Like, I'd love to see that. Absolutely love to see it. But moving on, I think we've touched on
what we didn't find out
all of this episode.
What we didn't find out, right, was in the previous episode that she pushed the wee detonator thing and all the time resets all vanished, right? But we never got to see what the kind of devastation was in the TVA, if anything. They didn't touch up on that at all. I thought they would have.
I think that's
definitely you're gonna see the aftermath of that in the next episode. Yeah. And I think it'll go back and forth between the TVA, Mobius and his team, whatever they're doing, and between Loki and Sylvie, whatever they're doing. And then I feel like by the end of the next episode, Loki's going to be apprehended by the TVA again, possibly.
Or maybe Sylvie will be apprehended. Loki will be trying to rescue her, and then King the Conqueror will reveal himself and be like, "Oh, so it was you, my darling." I
think if there's Mephisto or King the Conqueror in this, I think they'd only get revealed at the very end of the finale.
And it's going to be like it's going to be a wee clip as well like some wee hidden Easter egg. You're not even going to get to see them. It's going to be like.
Do we know any major actors that have been revealed to be contracted into the series, male or female, at all?
Nah, bro.
No, because I'm
I was
wondering
asked if I was.
if anyone was to be revealed in the acting, but the Marvel do keep quite a good secret, don't they? They don't reveal much at all, don't they?
Yeah, I was asked, but I had to turn it down because, you know, I've got the Nerd Dimension podcast and I have all my focus on that. So I was like, no, thanks for the opportunity, but no this time, maybe next time.
Unlucky Marvel, but I mean, we can maybe work out a little.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm contracted to call.
See the what do you call it? Do you think, how much longer do you think they'll? I feel like right at the end of the next episode, do you think they'll stay together, or right away at the start of the episode they're going to argue and just go their separate ways on this planet?
I think they'll get split and come back together. So they will.
Aye, that's what I think as well. That's what I think.
Romance.
Try to touch upon if there's see the scene when they get to the train and they need to get on it and they're talking about the plans and all that, and they're just trying to outwit each other and they're being cocky and not fully thinking it through, but them bouncing off each other just work perfectly. Do you know what I mean? Until obviously once they're on the train and whoever gets enchanted gets enchanted. Just saying, it's a theory on the Nerd Dimension that he possibly.
What I did notice in the train, right, was when Loki was up drinking, partying and all that, Sylvie had just woke up. She went for a nap. She let her guard down around Loki.
No, that's what I was saying. That see the moment of her waking up and he's drunk dancing, that's the start of the enchantment.
Yeah.
That's what I
We don't know
anyway.
who it is, but one
exactly.
definitely enchanted.
It's like I feel
Loki's
like
enchanting her. Loki's enchanting her, definitely.
Well, that's what I said. It's either one or the other. Either Loki's figured
Loki.
out learning from
Yeah.
her, or
so
her foreshadowing it and saying it to her was a way like was kind of like dangling it in front of his face, manipulating him as she's doing it to him. Do you know what I mean? Who knows? But it's a good theory. It's a good theory. Anyway, boys, I think we should move on to the ratings. Let's waste no time.
I'll go first.
Oh, I would like
to
go first for a wee change. I mean,
on you go.
Right,
David
never goes first. David always goes last. David always goes last. David, go first by all means. I'll go last this time.
On episode 1, I said I want to give it a 4 because I want to give a wee bit of room, you know, for if it gets better, it gets worse, right? And then second episode, I think I gave it a 3.5 from what I remember. 3.5. Yeah. I'm going to definitely...
No, you went 4. You went 4.
I went 4. 4. So I went 4. Did I go 4 again?
You were 4 twice. Mikey was 3. I was 3.5.
I'm definitely... The way the acting, the way the graphics, everything, it was just phenomenal. And I actually loved Loki and Sylvie. I think they are phenomenal together. Like, absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to have to give it a 4.5 for my rating.
Nice.
Because I want that wee bit of room because I know it can be better. That wee bit better.
Mikey, there you go.
Yeah, again, right, visually, it was the most stunning episode we've seen. You know what I mean? The edits were fantastic. The dialogue, the scripting, the locations, everything was just so beautiful and well done. I know it's going to get better, but it's not going to stop me giving 5 Tesseracts today. Boom!
Nice one. I like it. This episode, absolutely incredible. Camera work, phenomenal. Editing, phenomenal. Acting, just chemistry. The two actors, her pulling off. I didn't feel like in the trailer, in her scene in the last episode, I just didn't get the kind of Loki vibes, the charm, the personality. I totally got in this episode. She blew it out. She knocked it out of the park. Absolutely knocked it out of the park. Tom Hiddleston just keeps getting better and better. I loved one thing we never touched on was his speech. Love is a dagger. You look at it.
I was wondering
it's beautiful. Yeah. It was beautiful. whatever else he says, but what is it? But until it makes you bleed or something. Do you know what I mean? That whole bit, that line was beautiful. I loved it. He's always having these epic
Even though she turned around,
moments and
that
lines.
was a rubbish metaphor.
Aye.
He's like, oh,
He's
really?
like,
I thought it was real good.
I thought I was really onto something there. Oh well, but the whole way they brush it off is the same way. And see, just the way they're fighting before he gets fucking launched out the window of the train, and she's just like, Tempad, and then just like she's 100% focused on the mission and stuff, where she doesn't have like the flaws that Loki has from his like childhood and his jealousy and whatever else. Do you know what I mean? It's too good, man. It's too good.
They
I
messed
see the
something out.
similarities and the differences.
They messed something out, right? When Loki got chucked out the window, right, and then Sylvie followed him, right? Before that, a guard got chucked out the window. I was hoping for that guard to be like, "Oh, you prick! I'm alive," just to like stop up the track. But it never happened. I was kind of gutted. I thought, have they survived? I wonder what happened to that guard that got chucked out the window at first. You know, I wonder if
Right, David, I've no gave my rating. Shut up.
Yeah, your rating.
Anyway, my rating, 4.5. It was 4.5 before the episode started. I already knew what it was. Mikey was the same. David went for... Oh, no, sorry. Mikey was 5. David was the same. I think it was a 4.5 episode. The only thing that brought it down for me was I wanted to know more about Sylvie's past, more about maybe even just see 10 seconds of a flashback, a hint of something, maybe her on Asgard, maybe her doing something, just something to add that more, a little bit of mystique, but give us something. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just thought that's what was missing. I wanted to know more about her backstory and see it. But the fact we got that continuous one shot, it was absolutely stunning. The sound design, even the opening music and the way the episodes came in with the credits, just the design, the unique artistic style of the show is some of Marvel's best, and it continues to get better. I just want to see more cosmic shit. 4.5, absolutely fantastic. Do you have any final thoughts on the episode?
I do actually. Right, I think it was revealed that everyone was a variant at the beginning. Even they've got the big wand things, and then they point it at you and they stick it at you. Right, they're resetting you. Right, so how are they resetting a time variant person? You know, have they been like created for the TVA? You know what I mean? So I think it was already an Easter egg that they were already variants. Thoughts?
When they disintegrate, I thought they were just disintegrating.
I thought they did disintegrate, but I think they're getting reset. I think that thing is just resetting because they're variants.
Possibly, mate. Possibly. I've got terrible news. A frozen, for some reason, my picture on my camera is just a frozen me. So since that disconnected, fuck! God damn it, it's just a picture of me like this. The whole time. Absolutely raging. This fucking EpoCam fucked me.
When did it freeze?
It's doing, see what it's doing now? It kept disconnecting and reconnecting. Then it reconnected and it was working again, but it stayed froze. It stayed froze. No, because I had it sitting over my other camera. I should have had it sitting over Craig, but I fucked up.
God's sake.
You know what? We still had a good episode. Even if I'm frozen, it's fine. It's fine. Because I'm still talking anyway. But goddamn. Goddamn. Anyway, any last thoughts? That's it.
Actually, I hate having to wait a week for the episode. I'm wanting to watch it now. I just want to watch it all. I just fucking love it. I actually love this. Like,
it gives me something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And the weeks fly by for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love that. I've got that on a Wednesday every week now. Do you know what I mean? Then when it ends, I feel lost.
I'm just standing by. I think the TVA is in the quantum realm. So I do. I'm standing by that theory.
see, as soon as I saw the image, because it's small, it's in the distance, it
Yeah,
looks like a
and
pure.
it is
The
just-
aesthetic, like the way things look at it, I'm blown away. I'm blown away that you spotted that, man. Absolutely
Yeah.
blown away.
And do you know what? Do you want to know the funniest thing? The reason how I spotted it, right? I was watching Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it was just when they get to the quantum realm and you see the city in the background, and I'd unintentionally paused it because I was going to get Marnie. So I was going to get, but I was going to get Marnie, and then I looked at it, and then I'd only just finished the first episode, and it just got me thinking, man, the buildings are so similar. It's the same skylight. It's the quantum realm 100%, and that is why we've got the variants, and you know what I mean. That is why time works different. You know, Ant-Man was in for 5 hours, so he was in the quantum
Exactly.
realm,
Wow.
but it was 5 years later. You know what I mean? So for him, it was only 5 hours, but for everyone else outside of the quantum realm, it was 5 years, and that's the difference in time between the TVA and reality.
I'm blown away. That is a good theory, man.
Yeah.
A really good theory. Anyway, boys, let's wrap it up there. I've got a pizza and I'm absolutely starving waiting for me. Anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. What an episode. If you like this video, hit that like and subscribe. We've been doing episodes every week till the finale. Anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure. You've been watching the Nerd Dimension. Catch you next time.